Number 16, B Design says, how do I overcome fear of war? Thinking that the Ukrainian-Russian conflict will affect my country too. I live in Europe. I know in theory that God is in control, but my heart is still afraid. God bless. It's okay that you're afraid. Totally okay. When I used to have like a phobia of earthquakes, and I'm going to apply this to the best I can. I'm not paralleling and saying like your fear of war is the same as my phobia of earthquakes from when I was a kid, but I live in California, and in California we've had a lot of serious earthquakes, not that much recently actually, but when I was young, when I was a kid, we had a lot more. And there's always talk of like, is this the big one? Is the big one coming? And that totally freaked me out when I was a kid. And I carried this into my adulthood, and I realized it one time as an adult when I was getting married, and we were sitting at a friend's house, and an earthquake started happening, and I like grabbed my wife's hand and was like, let's get out of the building, because I thought we were safer outside. And then I left the building, and she just didn't follow, because she was a terrible wife. No, she didn't even, I didn't even know what I was grabbing her hand for. She didn't even know. Like, I was just like, come on. And it was just too quick for her to think what was going on. And I like step outside, and then I was standing there for a brief moment alone outside without my wife. And I thought, I have a problem. Like, that was wrong. And so here's what I did, that I don't know if this might help you. Well, let me tell you what I didn't do first. Here's what I didn't do. I didn't tell myself it won't happen. An earthquake won't happen that will bury me in rubble, where I slowly starve to death, right? And dehydrate and die. Where I have like my arms crushed and pinned beneath rubble. Like that won't happen. I never told myself that, because that's not honest. It's not real. And I can't tell you that war won't happen. I don't know what'll happen. That's the problem. I just don't know. But what I started doing was, every time I had a sense of fear about an earthquake, I would say, Lord, even if it happens, even if the worst I can think of happens, I still trust you. And this was like my silent prayer, or even out loud prayer, hundreds and hundreds of times. And I would pray this every time I thought of the fear, the thing I was scared of. If the worst happens, if the worst happens, if that worst thing happens. And I thought, I still trust you, Lord. If I'm pinned under rubble and my arms are crushed and I can't cry out and I'm dying and bleeding and dehydrating, I still trust you. I'm not kidding that I'm not phobic of earthquakes anymore. Now, I didn't expect that. I didn't know that would happen, but I'm like literally not phobic of earthquakes. Like, it's just not a thing. I mean, not like I don't get startled or something if there's an earthquake, but that fear that was there is just dissipated. And there's only now like a healthy awareness of the potential danger of an earthquake. So what worked for me was facing the thing I was scared of and saying that I would trust God even in the midst of that. Even in the midst of that. And I think that is consistent with a lot of what I read in the book of Psalms, right? Right. Even though the mountains fail, the hills give way, right? Yet I'm going to continue to trust in God. That there's this attitude of, yet even in that, I will still trust you, God. Right. This is what Job did. When the one good thing he did was he was like, blessed be the name of the Lord. So I have no commentary on the potential of war. I don't know anything about it. I just think I trust you, God. I don't trust the circumstance. I don't trust the dangers. I trust you. I trust you. And I know that my ultimate hope, it's unfading. It cannot be taken away. My security in Christ and my eternal joys and glory in heaven, they far outweigh any of the suffering I go through today. Yeah, I hope that helps.